my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today I've got another book talk video to share with you guys. And today we are talking about The Courage to Be Happy, written by these people. I'm not going to try to say their names because I will butcher it, and I hate doing that to people. So, yeah, not going to say it. But this is kind of a follow-up book review. About a year or so ago, I reviewed the first book from these two called The Courage to Be Disliked, and I found that to be such an interesting read that when I saw that they had put out a second one, The Courage to Be Happy, I picked it up as soon as I saw it, and I wanted to just kind of jump right into it and see what it was all about. Now, I'm going to link the review for The Courage to Be Disliked in the description box in case you want to go and check that out, because the thing is, you really need to have read the first book to get the most out of this book. Both of these books are based on the teachings and the ideas of philosopher Adler, and it just kind of builds on those ideas. So in the first book, they kind of lay out all of the ideas, you know, the basic principles of that philosophy. And then in this book, basically what it's doing is it's going through and it's giving you examples and ways to use those ideas in sort of practical, everyday type of situations that you might come across in your day-to-day life. So it especially focuses on the principle that happiness, okay, so there's a few principles that sort of point in the direction towards happiness that Adler talks about in his teachings, in his writings, and his principles. Number one is independence, but the one that this one really focuses on is community and friendships, and the idea of being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes in order to fully understand them and therefore be able to live a more community-minded life, because when you're understanding people, you know, there's more harmony in the way that you're interacting with them and living amongst them, things like that. And it's just very interesting. And honestly, it's hard to do a review of these type of books, because I mean, we'd be here for ages going through all the different principles and points that are mentioned. One that I really loved in this book, though, is live a life that you love. And that's so important. Like, it's such a simple notion, but I feel like sometimes we get so swept up in the people in our lives and the kind of lives that they want us to live that the life that we love and want to live gets forgotten. And that's such a heartbreaking thing to happen, because, you know, life's short. You only got so much time here. So I found this really interesting. Now, I am going to complain about one thing, and it's the same thing I complained about with the first book. And that is the format. It's written like a conversation between two people, and the first one was as well, and I just find that a real clunky way to take in information. I prefer to just have it all laid out and told to me, you know, like a normal book. I just find it awkward to read it as dialogue back and forth, and I don't know why they keep choosing to present the book like that, but it is. So anyway, I'm going to read the back to you so you can kind of get a better idea of the entire, you know, the entire idea of the book. But again, like I said, you really need to have read the first book because it kind of just jumps into it. But on the other hand, this book will be a bit repetitive if you have read the first book, but you need sort of the depth into the topics that the first book gives you. So let's read the back. What if your past didn't define you? What if you could stop worrying about what other people think? What if you could create the life you really want? You can. The Courage to Be Happy explains how. Profoundly moving and potentially life-changing, this companion to The Courage to Be Disliked the best-selling Japanese phenomenon with more than 4.2 million copies sold worldwide, shares the teachings of Alfred Adler, one of the giants of 19th century philosophy. Told through an illuminating dialogue between a philosopher and a young man, The Courage to Be Happy reveals how to choose happiness in the chaos and messiness of everyday life. So yeah, like I said, this one kind of takes the more day-to-day approach, a sort of practical approach on how to take the ideas from the first book and mold them into something more. And I really enjoyed it. And I think if you are interested in philosophy, and especially if you're interested in, well, I was gonna say if you're interested in Alfred Adler, but honestly, if you are interested in him and you're familiar with him at all, these would probably be a little basic, so maybe skip them. So it's more of an introduction and then a practical guide. So that's really it for the review portion for this book, because it's the kind of book where either I can't really go through it point by point, unless we sat here for 3 hours and we went through it point by point, you know what I'm saying? So I think hopefully that gave you enough of idea so you could decide if you want to read it or not. And I thought what I'd do for the rest of this video is just kind of show you what I've got on my to be read pile, so you can know what kind of book talk videos are going to be coming up over the next few weeks. And a lot of these are older books. They're kind of books that I've been wanting to read for a while and just haven't gotten around to yet. So we're going to be doing that in the coming weeks. So this one here is by Sarah Waters, and it's called The Little Stranger. And I actually picked this book up to read during Halloween, like during October, but I never got around to it. It's a haunted house story, which you guys know how I feel about haunted houses, which if you're new, I love them. So I'm very excited to jump into this. I actually saw this one. It says it's now a major motion picture. This is kind of like the book the movie tie-in cover. And I saw it's on Netflix, at least Netflix Canada. So I'm looking forward to watching the movie after I read the book. So like I said, haunted house story. I've also got this one, which I actually read the majority of this book about 2 years ago, but I never got around to doing a book talk on it just because the time was never right. I don't know why. This book was recommended to me by Aunt Carolyn, and it's written by a Newfoundlander. That's where I'm from. I'm from Newfoundland, which is an island in Canada, if you're not familiar. So this one is called We'll All Be Burnt in Our Bed Some Nights, and it's by Joel Thomas Hines. This book was longlisted for the Giller Prize, which is one of the main literary prizes in Canada. And I'm just about done with this, but I got distracted, and then I wanted to be able to give it the proper time. And right now is the perfect time because I don't have any like pressing books that I want to talk about. Like the past couple of weeks, I wanted to get to American Dirt, so kind of everything got brushed to the side. So we're going back to the ones that got brushed. We're also going to be reading The Witches of St. Petersburg, which is, I can't wait to read this. This is kind of about the Romanovs back in the day, the Russian royal family, and it just looks really interesting. Yeah, I don't even know what to tell you. Based on a true story, this transporting historical fiction debut depicts the fascinating lives of two sisters, princesses in the Romanov court, who practiced black magic and invited Rasputin into their lives, forever changing the course of Russian history. Very excited for this one. We've also got Mr. Fox. A good friend of mine, Krista, lent this to me. I honestly don't know what this is about at all. So I'm very excited to just kind of jump into that blind and see where it takes us. And then finally, this one here, The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock. Again, I don't know a ton what this is about, but let's see what it says here. It says, one September evening in 1785, just beyond the docks of London, Jonah Hancock hears an urgent knocking on his front door. The captain of one of Jacob's trading vessels is waiting eagerly on the front step, bearing shocking news. On a voyage to the Far East, he sold Jonah's ship for something rare and far more precious, a mermaid. Jonah is stunned. The object the captain presents him is brown, wizened, and as small as an infant, with vicious teeth and claws, and a torso that ends in the tail of a fish. And then it just kind of goes on. And I was so intrigued by what this is going to be about. So you guys, that's going to do it for me for today. This has been a bit of a crazy week. I didn't get a video up on Wednesday, and I think I'm going to get 2 up this weekend. I'm going to get the book talk up first, and then I think I'm going to be putting up a review for the new Netflix series, Lock and Key, which I watched and quite enjoyed. And then on Monday, of course, there'll be a new vlog. So happy Valentine's Day, you guys. I hope you have a great day and that you get to spend time with your loved ones, whether that's your friends, you know, a partner, a husband, a wife. I just hope you get to spend it with people you love. And hope you have a great weekend. And I will see you guys on, well, I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye.